scholar appears on screen, William Shakespeare, a name that echoes through 4 centuries of history, synonymous with the highest achievements of literature. His words have shaped our language, and his plays continue to be performed on stages across the globe. But who was the man behind the masterpieces? Let's journey back in time to uncover the life of the glovemaker's son from Stratford, who became the world's greatest playwright. Transition to scenes of Stratford. Our story begins in 1564 in the bustling market town of Stratford upon Avon. Here, William was born to John and Mary Shakespeare. His father was a respectable, ambitious man, rising through town ranks. Young William likely attended the local grammar schools, where he would have received a rigorous education in Latin and classical texts. At the age of just 18, he married Anne Hathaway, a woman 8 years his senior. The marriage was a hasty one, as Anne was already pregnant. This early shotgun wedding marked the beginning of a domestic life that he would soon leave behind. Transition to scenes of London. Sometime in the late 1580s, Shakespeare disappears from the historical record for what scholars call the lost years. He resurfaces in London not as a family man, but as a burgeoning force in the city's vibrant theater scene. He worked as an actor and a writer, quickly making a name for himself with his early, often bloody plays like Titus Andronicus. By 1594, he was a founding member of the Lord Chamberlain's Men, the most successful acting company of its day. Their success led them to build their own theater on the banks of the Thames in 1599. The Globe, a stage that would premiere some of the greatest works in the English language. The montage of the play scenes. The turn of the century marked the beginning of his great tragic period. In just a few years, he produced Hamlet, Othello, King Lear, and Macbeth. These plays delve into the darkest corners of human nature, exploring themes of ambition, betrayal, madness, and revenge with unparalleled psychological depth. But this artistic triumph was shadowed by profound personal grief. In 1596, his only son Hamlet died at the age of 11. Many scholars believe this devastating loss infused his later works, particularly Hamlet, with a deep and haunting melancholy. Transition to later life scenes. By the 1610s, Shakespeare had become a wealthy man, a shrewd businessman with investments in property and grain. He retired to Stratford, not as a struggling artist, but as a respected gentleman, purchasing the second largest house in town, New Place. He died in 1616 at the age of 52. 7 years after his death, his friends and fellow actors, John Heminges and Henry Condell, did the world an inestimable service. They compiled the first folio, preserving 36 of his plays, many of which had never been printed before. Without this book, works like Macbeth and The Tempest would have been lost forever. Shakespeare's genius was not just in his stories, but in his language itself. He invented over 1,300 of our common words and gave us countless phrases we still use today. He was and remains the soul of the age.